Welcome to the Therapist After Dark podcast. Ever wonder what happens when the therapy session is over? Well, we're digging into the funny, heartwarming, and surprising stories therapists have after they leave the office. Join us, two mental health professionals, every week for a dose of laughter, a touch of drama, and maybe a few shocking revelations, because therapists are people too.
Oh,
We're doing this.
we're doing this.
So okay, in session, is there anything that you have to do that require to help with your own anxiety or any part of you that gets a little nervous?
I don't know. Not so much anymore. Actually, if I don't prepare, I like to prepare for a session.
Yeah.
Even if it's just like reviewing the notes from last session, I usually put what I want to do next session in that note. So
Yeah.
it's a good refresher.
For sure.
Sometimes, I'm so back to back, which is great. But sometimes if I'm not able to at least review my notes from the week before or just really just prepare, I'll go into the service. I'll go into the session. I'm definitely a little bit more nervous. But that's my own anxiety.
Yeah.
That's almost like a performance anxiety. I want to make
Well,
sure that I'm doing the best.
A good job. I feel like that's something that people don't understand is yeah, we maybe have this schooling or this education and we have, we clearly know what we're doing, if you're a good therapist, you know what you're doing. But there is this performance anxiety because people are paying you for your support and you want to do a good job, especially if you're a good therapist. So their deal with mine, I just always have a little cup of tea or a coffee, because it's super. It just first off, it's just regulating for me,
Right?
But it helps when I need to take a pause to kind of process my thoughts or process what they're saying. I'll be like,
really recognize that's why I use it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I use my water, but I'll have a water bottle just kind of in hand
until probably I think maybe a year, because I've been doing this now, I don't know, since 2012.
Wow.
Wild. Probably 5 years in where I was like, how I deal with my anxiety.
Is this a safety behavior? I tell my clients to not do safety behaviors. I'm just one big safety behavior the whole time.
It's not that I don't feel safe with my clients, if I'm dealing with my own performance anxiety right now, and I'm trying to regulate my fucking nervous system. Want to do a great job. Yeah, it's so funny. And now it's kind of a joke because, all of my clients, in fact, at one point they would gift me to get gifts, right? But for Christmas, or I think whenever I was leaving the agency I worked at, clients all gave me, I got 15 mugs that year. Because they all knew, Brittany's gonna have her tea, she's gonna be sipping there.
Right now.
Brought to you by the tea.
Also, anxiety, it's always been a struggle of mine, to the point where I'll just go blank. And that's where that water bottle really comes in handy, because it's just need a sip, and it gives me a second to my thoughts again. But
yeah. When you were younger, did you always know that you were gonna be a therapist? Is this something that you knew that you were gonna do, or did it just
Actually, I knew I wanted to be an arts therapist. My senior year of high school.
Okay.
I really enjoyed psychology. I really enjoyed art, and I was like, what can I do with both? And because again, art has always been my therapy.
Yeah.
And it's just understanding people. Because I was very misunderstood myself. So I vividly remember senior year of high school. I was like, I'm taking these two things that I love so much, and I'm gonna make them work together one day.
Wow. Here, okay. I just knew what I was gonna do in high school. Who the fuck says that?
Right, but and that's not the norm at all. Really not.
So jealous. I just knew what I was gonna do.
But naive me thought college.
Yeah.
It would just be 1, 2, 3, but need say this, but I don't know about this, but you need to kind of do your time, but in the sense of just learning about everything and everyone.
Totally.
You can't be in my opinion, you can't be a good therapist without having all those different experiences.
Yeah, a little life experience.
Right, life experience, right, work experience, and with different populations, and just I don't know, but again, I thought, it'd be from A to B, but it was A, B, C, D, D.
Yeah, spirals from down.
I think I went all the way down.
Oh, yeah.
But I wouldn't change it.
Yeah. course not. Yeah. I mean, like, his job is so rewarding.
Yeah.
It's fulfilling.
Mhm.
And it's also like, we're real
Right.
people.
Right. But, and that's the funny thing too, because I don't know about you, but this question gets asked all the time, like, how do you do this? Why do you do this? And I'm like, okay, so do you need to sit down, or do you want
Right. Do you want the real answer? Or do you want the the perfect little whatever answer? Yeah, like, it's interesting because I did not have the same experience. Like, I had no idea I was going to be a therapist. I really thought that people didn't even care about what I had to say growing up. So, like,
True.
I was just like, okay, like, nobody really cares about what I have to say. Like, it's fine. And everybody told me, everybody in my world was like, Brittany, you're going to be a doctor. You're going to be a doctor. And I was like, okay, I'm going to be a doctor. Let's do this. You know, I did that whole track. Even like applied to medical school.
Wow.
And there's a point where I was like, is this even really what I want to do anymore?
Wow.
And psychology has always been, it was my major. But like, I was so good at it. It was like crushing it with A's. It was like the one thing in my life I actually like was crushing it. And then I was like, oh, well, maybe this is the path I actually want to go down because it's so easy. It feels so natural. And people have been coming to me since I was like 12 years old. It's like the first time I remember my friends being like, oh my God, so what's your opinion on this boy? And I'm like, why are you asking me? I didn't think you even cared about what I had to say.
Yeah.
But they always did. So this career path kind of chose me,
Yeah.
Wild.
It's wild. It is really interesting to see how, all types of mental health providers like find their way.
And we end up sitting in these chairs.
Yeah. Yeah.
People paying us.
And listen, if you recognize me, no, seriously, like, people from my hometown would drop dead. They would drop dead if they knew I was a therapist. They would. Because I was such a little, can I curse? I curse a lot. I was such a little shithead.
I know, based off of some of the stories you've told me, you've gotten into some kerfuffles for sure.
Some big kerfuffle. Oh yeah.
Wild. Yeah.
Yeah, but I wasn't gonna, at that point, I wasn't gonna let anyone help me.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
You have to find your own path, and sometimes that leads you to therapy and sometimes it leads you to some really bad kerfuffles. And then you end up in therapy, somehow it like just always comes back around.
I didn't start therapy till college.
Yeah.
So not even like until I actually started taking, like, because I started off with art, but until I started actually taking psychology, like college level psychology classes.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh wow.
Oops. Oh my God. When I was in grad school, I kid you not, I swear. So this is the one thing that happens to us a lot. And let me know if this happened to you. But in grad school, when you're really digging deep, you're like, the fuck? Have I had this the whole time?
Yeah.
I swear to you, from the age, I think around I was like 24, about to place out of it. Because the age, bracket where you get a personality disorder.
Oh, yeah.
I swear to you, I thought I was becoming schizophrenic. No joke. It was like, I was so paranoid. I didn't like hear auditory voices or anything like that. But my brain was just on a path of vengeance. And I was like, I'm like right in that cusp. Like I have one more year before I place out. Cause what is it between the ages of like 18 and 25 or 24?
Yeah,
I forget that one.
I know it definitely begins at you technically.
Yeah.
You can't be diagnosed with a personality disorder until you're 18.
Yeah.
I don't know about the aging out, actually.
I mean, I don't know if that actually is true, but like they, it's very
it's usually
unlikely that you would develop it after
later on. Right.
Yeah.
Yes, you're right. Unless like you go through something like super traumatic and that could bring something underlying out.
Totally. Or
right.
drug use, right? Drug induced schizophrenia happens all the time. But so like it's just I'm not doing drugs. Like I'm not doing everything I could to make sure that I did not become a schizophrenic because I really that was one out of all the things to be concerned about in the DSM, that was the one that I really just grabbed onto. I don't know why.
So that's really funny. So I'm just shy of 30, right? And recently I've been like, am I a narcissist?
This is funny because narcissism is like my specialty. So I'm like,
right. That's why I acquired Brittany as my friend. Actually, the years of friendship is built on me trying to figure out.
What's your conclusion? I'm just gonna sit my feet and let her decide.
No, I have narcissistic tendencies.
Don't we all?
Yeah, but as I tell all my clients, personality disorders don't exist in a vacuum.
No, they're on a spectrum for sure.
And
Absolutely.
different experiences in life, and I never would have thought of myself as a narcissist. I don't know.
Narcissists don't.
Yeah.
You know what? Yeah, I would not be your friend if you were, okay? So it's not even a question.
I think this is really funny. I was literally thinking about this the other day. I was like, I think I sometimes resemble a narcissist, but I have like the warmest heart.
They think the same thing too. Anyway, no, so the truth is that when you've been abused by a narcissist or you've grown up in a narcissistic household, you may emulate some of those behaviors, right?
Yeah.
And so there's so many of us, because I would say, as an American, part of the United States, we live in a very narcissistic fucking culture. So like, all of us have tendencies. All of us have tendencies towards selfishness. All of us have tendencies towards some level of self-protection, which may harm or hurt somebody else, and you just can't avoid it. I think some people are a little bit more intense than others without having the personality disorder, but but it's funny whenever I tell people that, I'm like, most people have narcissistic tendencies.
Yeah.
They're like, no, I don't. I'm like,
well, I'm admitting it to everyone.
Well, me too. I totally do. Absolutely. But it's funny, you kind of age out of it.
Yeah.
I think that it's like the more that you are in relationship with someone. So like, I'm married and I've been married now for 3 years, but I've been with my husband for 7. And if I didn't know what my narcissistic tendencies were until I got married, I do now. And it was really interesting because the more that we've been together, the more I have been reflecting, like I've seen those tendencies, and the more I've been able to heal them.
Yes.
You'll grow out of them.
Yeah, I was gonna ask, you work with relationships. I mean, and again, you specialize. I was gonna ask, how does that affect, or does it affect your relationship?
I mean, I'm sure my husband thinks so.
Get him on here.
Yeah, seriously, we might have to have him on as a guest. I'm seriously, like, I think that he had no fucking clue what he was getting into when he decided to marry a therapist. Like but I think also it's affected me in a positive way, because at least I have the tools, versus, not.
Right.
And I think that that's really helpful, but I'm also human. So when you're so close to something, I think that's why doing this podcast, because sometimes our lives as therapists are not going to look perfect to you if you happen to cross our paths on the street.
Right.
You may not want our partnership. You may not want like our lifestyle, but it doesn't mean that we still don't have the wisdom to offer to you and support you. It's just that we're so close to our own stuff that we also need to have our own therapist, our own coaches, our own plan, Yeah. And, I think that that's kind of what's happened between me and Eric. It's like, I definitely need to have my own stuff to deal with and process. I can't just rely on being an expert in relationships to make sure that my relationship goes amazing. I need support too.
Yeah. And again, the whole reason why we're doing this podcast, to humanize.
Exactly. To humanize us, dagnabbit, we're humans. Okay, so I have to ask, after you're done with the day, right?
Okay.
Let's just say it was one of those doozy days where there wasn't a lot of movement with your client, like they felt a little stuck, you felt a little stuck. What's the first thing that you have to do after that session?
Well, right after that session.
Yeah, right after that session.
Man, you're gonna hate me because you know what the answer is gonna be, because we're friends. I have my dog in the office, so I just gotta grab him. I'm gonna grab him and just smush his face.
Oh yeah. Of course not. Oh my goodness, yeah. You're like, I need to co-regulate right now.
Yeah. That's, oh my God, men's getting a dog. No, just kidding.
I know we have one on the floor right now, but you can't see her.
Yeah. No, I've worked through so much of my codependence with this dog. Yeah, but I do use him to co-regulate, and that's not a bad thing.
No, absolutely not. I mean, I think we need co-regulation in order to learn how to self-soothe and self-regulate first. Right. But no, absolutely. I think after, especially a session where it's like there's no movement. I don't even know what I do. I don't even think I asked you that question without even having an awareness
of what you do.
What I do. I think I'm so I think I do a lot of this, like, because I work a lot with energy and stuff, so like shaking it out and blowing it out and taking deep breaths, like that really helps to like help me self-soothe. And then I'll actually this is what I do for real. After I do that, of course, but then I'll just sit on the TV. I'll sit down on the couch and pop on some reality TV and let them deal with their problems for once. Zone out. Yeah, that is like my guilty. I can't even call it guilty. It's like how I regulate sometimes.
That's interesting because I'm the opposite. The last thing I ever want to do is put on any TV show that has any sort of it's like I can't do it.
Yeah.
I cannot.
Well, it's funny because I can't watch, I mean, I'm starting to be able to watch them a little bit, but in small doses, but I can't really watch true crime dramas.
Oh, no, I've never.
People like love this shit. I'm like, you sound like a psycho.
No, my intrusive thoughts could never. I would be having intrusive thoughts all the time. What if I just ran that person over? No. Oh, how can I get away with murdering this person? I don't want to be having those intrusive thoughts. Like, so I'm not gonna I'm not gonna expose myself.
Yeah, right. Oh my gosh.
Not to say that everyone watches them has intrusive thoughts, but we all have intrusive thoughts. But
but you do. But you do. Yeah.
But I want to, I have to be a little bit responsible of what I take in.
Yeah. I think that's so responsible of you, right? Like I'm trying to think of a different word, but it is, I think, especially we don't realize how much we pick up subliminally, right? And this is why marketing techniques work really well. This is why ads on TV and radio and who listens to the radio? I don't know. But this is why all of this kind of works, right? If you hear it enough, you're like, oh, that came to mind, this intrusive thought. Like, I should go over here. I should do this.
Right. Did you watch the Spice Girls movie? Come on. Come on, guys.
Right? The Spice Girls movie. Oh my god. They're taking it back there. Oh my gosh, here's for the Spice Girls. I think they're going on tour.
Are they?
I heard that they're going to go on tour. I know.
We gotta go. We gotta go.
If anybody wants to donate tickets to the Spice Girls World Tour 2024, we're here for it.
Oh my God.
But we have to be so mindful. So if you struggle, like what I've noticed is that whenever I'm struggling with intrusive thoughts or anxiety or anything like that, I have to be extra cautious about what I'm listening to and what I'm watching.
Right.
And so I think it's so important even for our clients, that they know that they need to do that too.
Right.
Yes, you have anxiety, but could it be expanded upon or expounded because you decided to watch true crime? Binge a whole true crime series.
Yeah.
Don't you think that could? Yeah. Do you think that you're having conflict in your relationship because you keep watching some fucking conflicting shit? You know what I mean?
Yeah. And the sad thing is, not to get too, not even going there. But companies, movies, whatever, TV shows, you know what those companies are called. Companies, they feed off that.
Oh yeah.
They know humans are so drawn to that because it helps, just like when you watch that reality TV, it helps you disconnect.
Yeah. Helps them disconnect, and also I'm subliminally taking in all these things. Yeah. Yeah, for sure.
So we're naturally drawn to it and they sucker us into it.
Yeah. Damn the man. Oh my gosh. We have to do so much work to uncondition a society that is conditioning us all fucking time. All the time. So how do you help protect yourself? What do you watch or what do you listen to?
I'm always listening to I'm always watching comedy.
Oh, okay.
Something funny. Something so stupid, so funny. Just
what's your go-to movie? I don't even know.
I don't really. So I can't rewatch movies.
I can't either.
Okay.
Well, except for 3. There's 3 I can rewatch. Yeah. I'm in love with them. But.
Okay. But my go-to show.
Okay.
New Girl.
Oh, okay.
I love New Girl.
But do you rewatch those episodes?
Oh yeah.
Okay. So you can rewatch them.
Only shows, not movies.
Oh, okay. Is that a kerfuffle? Another kerfuffle. I don't know why that word's the word for me today.
Yeah. New Girl. Seinfeld. Anything just so silly.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I appreciate that. It is nice. Laughter. So I saw something, what was it? Yesterday? No, it's a week ago. I don't know why I said yesterday.
We never know what day it is.
Yeah, what is today's Friday, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So today's the day. But I saw this thing, it was on Instagram, and it said that babies laugh or children laugh up to 300 times a day. And adults only laugh up to 70 times a day. So I was I looked at Eric, I was like, I don't think that's us. Because my husband and I are always laughing and we're just a little too kookies. But so then we started trying to count. Yeah. How many times?
Oh my God.
We're 2 days. Those kids, they got nothing on us. So yeah, moral of the story.
Also, as a coach, as a therapist, how do you get enough laughter? And like, do you laugh and do you allow laughter? Do you allow comedy, humor?
Like in my sessions?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Who am I?
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah.
In fact, I think the one thing that my clients would probably say about me is that I'm like pretty authentic, and I just, who I am with you here is how I am with them.
Yeah, same.
You know, obviously there's distance, you know, because I'm
Yeah.
not friends with them. But I do, it's different. Like being a coach, there's a little bit different, there's a little bit less of
Yeah.
a protective layer, you know, because as a therapist, you have to be that blank slate, that wall, that mirror, you know, versus a coach, it's like, I've already done, like, have been able to do something that you want to do.
Right.
So let me show you what I did, and let's see if we can kind of create something that feels a little bit more cohesive to what you're doing.
Right.
And get you there faster, you know? So like, I get to have a little bit more, I get to be a little bit more of myself in my coaching sessions than I did as a therapist. But the funny thing is like, I think I was always supposed to be a coach.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty sure I was doing the same shit in my therapy sessions.
Yeah.
Oops.
Yeah. No, I feel like, I feel like my clients could say the same in the sense of I'm pretty authentic, obviously, to a professional level. I do have to be somewhat professional. No. No, but my clients, I think I'm able to build good relationships with my clients, so they're able to understand me as a person without me having to divulge who I truly am.
Yeah.
Like I bring my I guess my traits into session, you know, which differs from me, like a coach, where I use my experience to help someone move forward. Right. That's where that wall comes in. But that being said, like so many people come to see me and they're like, oh, therapy could be like this. Like usually, like, when I go to a therapist, like, you know, I feel like they, you know, maybe they're judging me or maybe they know better than me, and I'm like, I'm telling you right now, I don't know better than you. I don't know you better than you know yourself.
Yeah.
You know, and I'm not saying all therapists at all. Like I think there's a lot more therapists today who are able to kind of break through that barrier and just be way more authentic.
Yeah. Well, I think we're allowing it more now.
Yeah.
You know, we weren't taught that in school. Like there's all these modalities, and there's all these like you have to be this and you have to be a mirror, blank slate or wall or whatever. And it's like, what?
To the point, which is one weird thing, I won't paint my nails. What? Isn't that weird? I picked that up in grad school.
Oh my god.
You shouldn't paint your nails. My thing just we literally learned. I went to NYU, and this is what we learned. We learned what was the appropriate amount of makeup to wear.
Wow.
I wing my eyeliner. See that? See that?
Wow. That's like intense.
And just to be aware, you know, what is that showing to your client? So they remember, if you don't put any makeup at all, it shows you don't care. If you put too much makeup on, it shows that you care too much about yourself and your appearance.
Oh my god.
So finding that medium. And same thing with painting your nails. Like if you paint your nails whack, I don't know, whatever.
Right.
Like you're giving them insight to who you are.
Right. Oh my gosh.
So one thing that I've stuck with is not painting my nails.
Oh my goodness.
Isn't that weird?
It is very, I mean, I was just thinking, because I went to Pepperdine in California, and you know, they're liberal out there, they don't care. Not that NYU isn't liberal too, but like, but like, you know, we're that California West Coast like liberal or whatever. But yeah, no, I don't remember ever learning that ever. But I definitely know there was like a standard of like, you know, appropriate dress, and if there is some sort of, you know, transference in the session, like how do you talk about it or process it if they see you a certain way, you know, because I feel like it's so hard as a therapist to dehumanize yourself. I think the whole purpose of people coming to therapy is to be with a human. Like,
Exactly.
It's so bizarre how they train you, you know? Anyway, I don't know. Okay, another question I have for you. When you come home, what's the first thing that you take off?
My pants. Either something, well, I guess technically my jacket. I hate being constricted. And I layer up, because especially when we're in New England, so it's really cold. So right now specifically, like I'm wearing like 2 layers of pants and 3 layers of like shirts. I just need to just start unlayering, but honestly, once the jacket's off, the pants are coming off.
Bye, pants.
Bye, pants.
See you later.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Mine is my bra. It has to go. immediately.
Yeah.
In fact, right now I'm like, I just
Yeah.
want to take this shit off. Right
Yeah.
now. Yeah, always. That is like the first thing. And then pants for sure.
Yeah.
I don't like anything on my legs. I want to be like free.
Mhm.
I can't even sleep with pants on.
Yeah. No, me either.
And it's just, I
No
feel like they
pants.
will get tangled in the sheets, and I
Yeah.
just don't appreciate that.
No,
I
no.
need free legs.
3 feet.
Yeah, I can have
Yeah.
socks on in the
Yeah.
bed. I'll like overheat or something,
But I'll like to put like a big comfy,
like a heavy blanket.
like, or just like a sweater or something.
Oh,
on.
yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, that makes me think, like, what's your theory or thought about weighted blankets? Are people still even using those?
Yeah, I think so. I personally don't have that much experience with them. I don't dislike them. It's gonna sound so silly, but they're heavy.
Yeah.
They're kind of a pain in the butt to like maneuver. Like if I just want to snuggle up, like I have to use strength to snuggle up. No.
Well, what do you think is, like, since you're an anxiety
Yeah,
therapist,
yeah.
what do you think about that for helping with anxiety? I'm curious.
I think it helps people. So, I think it helps when you're feeling overstimulated. I think it really helps actually calm down your body,
Yeah.
right? Slow it down a little bit. That's really all I don't have that much.
Yeah, like that's it.
That's it.
That's
That's all I got. I don't know, like for myself, I don't like being constricted.
Yeah.
So like that heaviness, like it's not really comfortable for me.
Right.
So I'm like, I just can I get me out. Get me out. Yeah, get me out. But I could see how it could be helpful for people who are very like their nervous system very activated and they just need to kind of chill.
Yeah, for sure.
Defense.
Yeah, I know. I'm just always, I don't know anything about them either.
Yeah.
Like, I know that they make them for animals too.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, should I get, my dog is so anxious. She's like, sweet. And she's actually not like anxious just in the very beginning when you first like get to meet her. She's like so excited. But
that's all about anxious dogs.
sorry, trigger. Co-regulation animals are also carrying our oops.
My next dog will.
Yeah. Thank you for your service.
Oh my god, he is me, it's
But yeah, I saw that they like make them for animals too, and I was like, huh, do I need to get Ricky a weighted blanket vest, little weighted vest thingy? Like that's interesting.
Yeah.
I know that they do it for children, with like on the spectrum.
Yeah, or even ADHD.
Yeah.
Because that's the overstimulation.
Yeah, for sure. I know a couple adults who could use a vest.
Yeah.
Put that bitch on, please. These are not my clients, by the way. These are just people I happen to cross paths with, you know. Oh my gosh. Okay, if there's anything that you think that someone, oh no, actually, better question. What do you think is your client's first impression of you?
Oh no, I just started sweating. Oh my goodness. Can I put that on you first? I don't know.
Oh my gosh. Well, it's hard for me because I am very virtual. So I have so much content online. Most people, when they find me, they've had some sort of point of contact, but beyond just a phone call. They've seen a video of mine. They've seen like, you know, a post or a reel or something.
Right.
So I think they have already made their judgment. By the time they get to me, they already kind of know who I am, you know? So I don't know. Cause like, okay, I asked this question because I remember, especially early in my career as a therapist, people would underestimate me for sure. Cause I look young, like I'm 36, but I look young, especially then. And I was like 24 years old, doing couples therapy and stuff, slaying it, by the way, fucking crushing it. These couples didn't know what hit them, but they definitely would look at me and like kind of snicker and just like, you know, whisper behind my back. And I'm just like, okay.
Yeah, I definitely, one of the things I feel, I definitely look young. People like, I'll have a client ask me, maybe not so much anymore, but when I first started out, like 5 years ago in private practice, they're like, are you even 18? I was like, what?
Thank you.
I was like, I'll take that as a compliment. Thank you so much. But no, I look young. I think I'm silly. I'm bubbly. Like I come off as a little bit more young. I don't know, but the weirdest things come through for me. Sometimes I feel like I'm intimidating because I'm tall too.
Yeah.
And like I'll like tower, like I'll open the door and my clients like up to here and they're like, hi, how are you? It's a weird thing. It's again like I'm experiencing life through my
your lens.
So like I worry as coming off as too young looking, but also coming off as too intimidating.
Yeah.
it's the weird conflict that I like have to deal with.
Yeah, well, I think it's something that's happening in our culture right now, just the shift. Like, first off, therapy is more normal, more
Right.
normalized. People think it's like, fetch. If you, I don't know why I used a mean girl. Why do you think it's a mean girl?
I was thinking like fetch, like
No, mean girl,
fetch.
Gretchen,
Yeah.
wiener, like whatever.
Yeah.
So dating myself already. I already told you I was 36. But so like people think that it was just more. I remember when the kids would come because I used to work with like students a lot,
Yeah.
the teens,
Mhm.
and oh my gosh, the entire. And it sucked because my little brothers who were in college, who were in high school at the time, went to the school that I had. I probably had 15 students
Oh my god.
that I was seeing,
Right,
and they
right.
were all of the
Mhm.
same age grade,
Mhm.
like grade as my brother. And he knew like half the people. He was like, "Yeah, you're seeing this person and this person." I was like, "Well," I was like, "I didn't tell you that. They told you that."
Yeah, yeah.
But it's just like this interesting. It's now that people get therapy.
Mhm.
And I think that there are a lot of therapists who are younger and younger and hold a lot of wisdom and
Yeah.
just like probably because they've been through some shit,
Right.
Life
Been to
is-
therapy
been
themselves.
through therapy themselves, been
Yeah.
through some shit,
Yeah.
and now they're like giving back in this way. And I think the face of the therapist, of the clinician, has gotten younger.
Mhm.
And people are
Mhm.
still trying to figure out, is that a good thing or a bad thing? They
Yeah.
really don't know. Because I think the what do you call it? The construct, right?
Right. Right.
What a therapist is like, a man in a suit,
Yeah.
Freud looking
Mhm.
guy or whatever.
Mhm.
I'm gonna lay on a couch. I mean,
Right.
people used to say that all the time. It's like, when was the last time you laid on your couch? Like,
Yeah,
I don't even
right,
know.
right, yeah.
Yeah. Why would I make you lay down on the couch? Now,
Mhm.
there is obviously psychoanalysts, like psychodynamic, which is a whole
Yeah.
type of
Yeah.
therapy.
You do you.
You do you. That's not me. No one could pay me not to talk.
Yeah.
Good luck getting me
Yeah.
not to say a word.
Mhm.
But yeah, so I just think the face of therapy is just changing.
Yeah, I agree with that. And I think it's for the better.
Yeah, me too, for sure.
As a coach, you're able to draw from your experiences.
Mhm.
So when a client asks you, what would you do in the situation?
Oh shit. How do I answer
Yeah,
that?
how do you approach that?
Yeah. Well, I don't ever say if it's a situation I've never experienced,
Yeah.
then I don't necessarily give them an answer.
Right.
I'll be like, oh, well, like based off of what I've experienced, this is some choices I would make in those situations.
Mm-hmm.
But honestly, like this is something you have to learn to navigate yourself. And so I always defer, like I would say the biggest part of my practice is like deferring to intuition.
Right.
So what I would
You're
actually
teaching
do,
them,
what I would actually do is like help them drop in. So I would do like a grounding exercise and I
Mhm.
would do like maybe a meditation to help them kind of source or
Yeah.
resource from themselves.
Yeah.
And then I'll be like, what's your first answer? And then
Yeah.
they'll tell me and I'm like, okay, cool, that's what you do.
Right. Right.
I always
Mhm.
do that, because
Mhm.
like I like went through some shit and I like obviously have to draw my experiences because that's
Right.
why people are hiring me.
Right.
But if it's something I've never crossed paths with,
Mhm.
I'm like, that ain't my bag. That's not why you
Yeah.
hired me. I thought we were talking about this.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. So what if it is something that you've experienced?
Oh, then I just tell them what I've gone through.
Mhm.
Yeah, absolutely. Because part of my testimony is the reason why they're hiring me in the first place.
Yeah.
So that's why I love coaching
Mm-hmm.
because I get to use my experience. And that was something I was already kind of doing
Right.
as a therapist, which is kind of taboo. It's not
Mhm.
really what you're supposed to do.
Right.
She can't even paint her fucking nails. So like I'm not supposed to really be telling people about like what my life experience is and this is what I'm going through. But
Mhm.
so naturally coaching just felt more me.
Mhm.
And yeah, it's great. I love drawing on my experiences and people appreciate it, right?
Yeah.
And I would say that that's one thing that kind of humanizes me more now. I think there was a part of me that was like begging to be human.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's why being a therapist, like letting that be my career for the long term,
Right.
wasn't going to suit me
Right.
and my lifestyle moving forward.
No.
Because, yeah. But obviously I still am a therapist. I still use
Right.
therapeutics and stuff,
Right. Right.
What do you do?
I'll make it like a kind of like funny. Like, wait, you're asking a therapist me or me? Like those are two different answers. No. No, because the goal is always like a therapeutic like objective, I guess, obviously in therapy. I don't know, but there are times when I'm like, yeah, let's go burn that guy's house down. Let's do it. Right? Like right?
Yeah.
This like raw version of me, right, that wants to come out, like maybe this older version of me too, wants to like, yeah, come on,
Yeah.
let's do it. But I'll actually, if I'm feeling that, I'll bring that up as like a joke, like in a way, some comic relief. Then I'll just redirect it back to, but this is what we're focusing on. Like we're focusing on healing. Like it's getting that revenge actually gonna help you heal.
Right.
You know.
Right.
But I'll like make them feel like, you know, like I want to join with them. Like I want to be true to myself. And yeah, I mean, if some guy's being a prick to you, yeah, I want to burn his house down with you too. Like I get it.
Right. Because like I love you. Like you know, like I have love for you. I can't necessarily say that, but like you can see, you can feel that. Yeah.
Imagine if the client was like, well, what did you do? And I'm like, well, you know, in order to blah blah blah. Like, you know, I'm trying to envision myself like coming off if I just like
completely
give them
like,
a therapeutic like
or redirect them like how do you feel? How do you think? Yeah, it just doesn't feel very
authentic.
Yeah, authentic, supportive in that moment sometimes. Yeah. Well, okay, so like have you ever found a client that you're like, oh my gosh, I just want to be best friends with you, but I have to wait 2 fucking years to do it?
Yeah.
If ever.
Yeah. I definitely had a lot of clients over the years where, you know, I value them. Obviously, I value all my clients, but there's just some clients you connect with a little bit more, and it's almost like sad to think about, like, you know, when, you know, maybe they won't be in my life, or you know, that's hard because like if you follow the ethics, like you're supposed to technically wait 2 years, but
even then
it's still pretty unethical. Which kind of stinks.
It does,
because you're such a part of these people's lives for a while, and like there's so many times I just want to like text someone like, how you doing?
I know too. It's so hard, and I think what's interesting is that it's a part of the unethical piece of it, and I think a lot of clients don't realize like why we do this for them, because like if they're coming to us during a period of time in their life that's really difficult, and then 3 years later we're like, hi, how are you doing? It may re-traumatize them. You know, even if they had a really good experience and they work through it with you and they have fond memories of you, just going back to that period of time can cause like harm and not always good. I don't think that's like for every case, but like I think that there is a level of protection in it, and so I do appreciate it. And even as a coach, even though I don't hold to the same level or same standards, I still operate under the guise that like I'm still not your friend, you know, and I can't really be your friend, and no, we can't like really hang out or anything like that, even though I would love to, because I'm obsessed with you and I think you're fucking amazing. I want to be your bestie, but like, I'm gonna have to be your bestie, but like over here, you know, like in spirit, and there's a little bit more leeway where I can call like check in, because you know my clients are in a higher functioning sort of place, you know, they're working on a specific goal. So there is like a little bit of room there, which good. But at the same time, I still abide by what I learned as a therapist. I don't really cross those lines. You know, it doesn't really feel appropriate.
No, I agree. That makes me sad.
I know, it is. It sucks. It really does suck, because there's some of your like some clients, like you say, just connect with them more. Maybe you see yourself in them more or something like that. There's something there.
Transference.
There's something there, and you're just like, I fucking would ride for you. Like I would die for you. Like you're the best.
Seriously.
Yeah. Well, let's just take a sip to those clients.
Pour one out.
Pour one out. Perfect. Well, that's all I got. Okay, well, we'll just end for today.
We hope that you enjoyed the peek behind the therapy room curtain. Don't forget to subscribe, rate, and share the podcast. Until next time, remember, life's a journey, even for your therapist. Take care and see you next episode.